last year in Cleveland. So what does it mean for stats in his first year in L.A.? How about 3 letters? MVP. Caron Butler is here to tell us how. Will Kawhi Leonard join King James in La La Land? That was the word a week ago, but right now it's about whether or not Kawhi is hiding out from the Spurs. Listen to this podcast and try to understand what's going on.
There was a point during his rehab process in New York that some of the Spurs brass went out to see him in New York. As soon as those guys arrived to the building, Kawhi's people grabbed him and sequestered him to another part of the building. So the Spurs people couldn't even see him.
Oh, man.
Now, come on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, these are the types of things that are going on that people don't necessarily know about.
Oh, well, we hope you have the fever for the flavor. Welcome to Game Time. Chris Miles here with you. Tough Juice will be here in just a few minutes. First, let's welcome in Sam Amick from USA Today. This Kawhi saga keeps getting wackier by the day. Is the relationship between the Spurs and their star player just too far gone to repair?
Yeah, Chris, I think 100%. I think now it's just a matter of where does Kawhi end up? You know, what is Greg Popovich thinking? What is R.C. Buford thinking? And, you know, is it going to be Philly putting enough on the table to get a deal done to bring him that direction? You know, this Lakers development, I think, is very intriguing. The idea that even though Kawhi seemed to come out the gate saying that that was his preferred destination, that maybe LeBron going there, and this is a little counterintuitive, that maybe that changes the dynamic and maybe he's more interested in doing the Clippers or something of that nature. I think, you know, Kawhi is one of those old school competitors who wants to go at LeBron and not necessarily team up with him. But I do think the relationship between him and San Antonio is something that is just, you know, that fence is too tough to mend. They've tried. Pop tried to go out and sit down with them, and, you know, him and his group have made things extremely tough on San Antonio.
And it seems as if it's been too far gone for a while. Before the NBA draft and the start of free agency, we were saying the same thing. Now, Kawhi, still a member of the San Antonio Spurs. Will that change before the start of the 2018 season, or could we still be in the same loophole?
No, I'd be pretty surprised if he was wearing that silver and black by the time we got to training camp. You know, I do sense a pretty high level of urgency, not necessarily desperation, because, you know, listen, you continue to also hear that the Spurs are asking for a pretty good haul in return for Kawhi, and with good reason. This guy's an MVP candidate year in and year out. But, you know, I think that they know that the level of discomfort has reached a point where, you know, they're going to lose more and more leverage by the day. You can't think about bringing Kawhi into camp because, for one, you can't control how he handles that, and the optics would be terrible, and the price tag eventually is only going to get worse when it comes to what you can get back for a guy like Kawhi, just because of the nature of the relationship, because everybody in this league right now knows how tough of a time both sides are having with one another.
We've seen about 50 trade scenarios from the Lakers trying to land Kawhi Leonard. Of course, they landed LeBron and then made several other moves. Are they done yet, or do we expect this to continue throughout the offseason?
Well, I mean, it's interesting. You know, at first I thought they might give the entire, you know, the kitchen sink and the whole works to San Antonio for Kawhi. And to me, that would look like a Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, multiple first-round picks. And then maybe, I was told, even find a way to take some of the Spurs' bad money that they don't want and find a new home for it, likely with another team. And that's the kind of thing that might be too tough for San Antonio to turn down. Now, with LeBron coming to town, I think they have been told by him and his people that patience is okay. And it's a little bit surprising because he's 33 years old. You would think that time is of the essence. He doesn't want to waste any time and maybe in win now mode. But it does seem that he's somewhat open to going ahead and not wanting to lose some of these young players, these young assets, and go about it that way. So far, we've seen the moves they've made, and they're not doing things via trade to this point. They're just trying to build that roster in free agency.
We know what a LeBron James team looks like, okay? Shooters, and then LeBron's the primary ball handler. But when you look at this roster right now, Rondo, Lonzo, Lance, and then LeBron, I mean, there are just too many guys that seem like they have to handle the ball. Do you think that's an issue when you're looking at this roster going into the season? And could we see an overhaul at the trade deadline like we saw in Cleveland last year?
You know, I mean, I kind of love the idea that they've got multiple playmakers, and I did enjoy the story today that Brian Windhorst and Ramona Shelburne of ESPN had, where they essentially painted the picture of the idea that LeBron wanted this Lakers roster to be almost the inverse of the Cavs, and the way they build things. That he got tired of not having multiple playmakers. He got tired of not having guys who could defend. And the guys that you mentioned can do those things. They just can't shoot. And I feel like, you can't swing the pendulum too far in the other direction. And right now they have. I get it. You need playmakers. You need guys who can defend. Cleveland was 29th in defensive rating last season. That's just completely untenable. You got to fix that if you want this Lakers team to do anything. But you got to put the ball in the hole. And right now, the players we're talking about are routinely defended in a way where essentially it's 4-on-5 and you don't have to guard that guy because he can't knock down the open shot. And so I'm curious to see who they, go out and get. Brook Lopez did some good things for them. He's still out there on the open market. I think he would make some sense. They got to get guys who can shoot the ball. It doesn't need to be the way the Cavs were built, but I do think it has to be a little more balanced.
Certainly. Okay, moving on to Boogie. Before tearing his Achilles last year, he was having his best season as a pro. We can't expect him to be that kind of player when he returns, but what is he expected to be for the two-time defending champs when he returns?
Listen, I think it's a great deal for the Warriors because, first of all, we all know that part of being as successful as they are is you can't pass on the regular season. They learned that the hard way last year. They lost 10 out of the last 17 games, and they weren't sharp going into the playoffs. But the regular season is not the end-all, be-all. So they can wait for DeMarcus to get healthy. I know he told Mark Spears that he was going to be ready for training camp. That is incredibly optimistic. The Warriors are anticipating him not playing until December, January, somewhere around there. So you get him ready for the playoffs. You get a guy who, and I talked to the coaching staff about this, who almost plays like a much, much better version of the Andrew Bogut role from years past, where he would come in with the second unit to start the second quarter, be a playmaker, be a guy who, because of what DeMarcus can do, can punish opposing defenses and just stagger it in a way where whoever you're playing doesn't get a breath, for all 48 minutes. And I think, that's going to be really good for the Warriors. For DeMarcus, and I definitely wish him the best, I just hope that the health side continues to go the right direction. That Achilles injury is just brutal. And unfortunately, like the Elton Brand comp is the one that applies the most. And that's not a very favorable picture.
No, DeMarcus Cousins still just 27 years young. Hopefully he can come back from this devastating injury that has hurt a lot of people in their career. Sam, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. You're good.
All right, Caron, so trust is typically a thing that the Spurs are great with in their organization, but somehow, some way, with their relationship with Kawhi Leonard, that went astray. What happened with the Spurs and Kawhi that we have this situation now that every day there's a different report of their relationship being broken?
Well, you talked about trust, and the things that jumped out off the screen at me was just the simple fact that, first of all, he was misdiagnosed. And that's a scary situation when you're a player because, that the doctor usually have the first obligation to the organization. And you would hope that it would be to the patient, but it's not normally that way. And then he seeked a second opinion. However, going through that process, trying to get healthy, trying to make himself available for the organization and the team, being the best version that he possibly can be. And then you have players speaking out about the injury, about it's not as bad as they say it is or he say it is and he should be out there playing. That's another slap in the face. And it's like, okay, I was trying to move forward. Now we regressed again. And it's like you're disturbing the momentum of anything with us having a happy ending.
Are the Spurs playing this too hard, trying to wait for the perfect trade? Because there are reports that the Lakers are offering so much to San Antonio. Are they going to get a better deal than they're getting from the Lakers?
They have the right carrot in Kawhi Leonard. We're talking about him. He's the hottest thing on the market right now. He's the carrot, and he's a finals MVP. He's a champion, one of the best two-way players in all of basketball. And when healthy, he's one of the top 5, 6 players out there in land. So you have to be patient and not jump the gun. And I think that any team is going to put together a very, very wealthy, qualified package to try to get him.
Well, the Lakers, again, the team that Kawhi said, hey, that's where I'm trying to go. Magic Johnson trying to make it happen. But let's say it doesn't happen. And you look at the Lakers' current roster, and the same thing I asked Sam, do they have enough shooters? I mean, their top 4 shooters are their young guys, and Josh Hart, and Kyle Kuzma, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, I mean, Brandon Ingram, these are their best percentage-wise shooters from the outside right now.
Well, they don't have enough shooters on the roster right now as assembled, but these guys have to grow up at a rapid pace, and looking forward to the next season for their growth, going through these adversity and trials and tribulations. Now you add LeBron to the fold. That becomes now. You have to be ready now for the moment. And I think KCP is a guy that's streaky. He can make shots. I think Alonzo Ball is much better. I think Josh Hart is a seasoned guy that understands the pace of the game and can make adjustments and can play off LeBron extremely well. Kyle Kuzma is the guy I think that will benefit the most playing with a guy like LeBron James.
Yeah, you mentioned Josh Hart, 38% from three-point range last year. So playing with LeBron James, clearly that might be a good combination and for Josh to have a great season. Okay, let's play Predict Future. And we're going to say this is the Lakers roster to start next season. How many games do they win?
Anywhere from 46 to 52. And I say LeBron is a plus 13 to 15 immediate change on the roster. And however, as I say that, I also would like to say this. He's the MVP of next season. Just because there's going to be instant impact, they're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to be somewhere between the 6th and the 8th seed in the Western Conference.
So in his 16th year in his career, when it seemed as if that MVP window closed, you're saying LeBron James is going to win it?
Because he's going to be the difference. He's going to be the headline in the story of the NBA all season long. Obviously, everybody knows that the Golden State Warriors is stacked. In the Western Conference, it's going to be, intriguing to watch them and DeMarcus Cousins getting healthy and inserting himself into that lineup, being the third splash brother, as they call him. But at the same time, everybody's eyes is going to be on the Los Angeles Lakers again. Showtime is definitely back with LeBron in the 16th season. So many questions about can he lead, and I think he's going to answer all those questions by getting them to the playoffs.
How many points a game is he going to average?
Over 25. I would say 25-plus points. I would say 6+ rebounds, and obviously 5.5 to 6 assists a game. And you're going to see him out there available for more than 66 games this season.
Now, when you say those numbers, they sound great to me. But those are down from last season. He averaged 9 assists a game last year, career high there, career high in rebounds at over 8 a game. Actually, it's 8.6 the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying his numbers are going to go down, but he's going to win the MVP. That's just is it a perception thing?
Yeah, I think it really is because, you're held to a high standard when you're LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers dominating the Eastern Conference for so many years. But the Lakers, they haven't been to the playoffs since Kobe Achilles injury, since Dwight Howard was wearing the uniform. And now you get the reemergence of LeBron James with a different team, 16th season, amazing storylines, MVP.
Well, it's going to take us a few months until the season starts for the Los Angeles Lakers. Meanwhile, Los Angeles Sparks on the court against the Minnesota Lynx.
Kansas.
Hey, you remember Minnesota has won 3 of the last 5 WNBA championships. So, they're pretty good. They go inside. Sylvia Fowles gets buckets easy. How about Rebecca Brunson? Outside. That's what happens when you go inside and try to double and triple team, Caron.
What happens when you got a wet ball, man? Catch and shoot.
Candace Parker, we know what she can do from outside, knocking it home and then working on the baseline.
Ooh.
That's just a nice touch.
Look the way she pulled back. Can't even take a picture. Quick release.
Minnesota ahead by 2 into the second quarter. Lynx pulling away. Maya Moore, 7 straight games with over 20 points. Looking to extend that to 8. And Sylvia Fowles inside that left hand. Just a thing of beauty. Danielle Robinson also working inside.
Good basketball right there.
History for Rebecca Brunson. Gets her 3,317th rebound. Becomes the all-time rebound leader in WNBA history.
We clapping in here.
We don't call that a game ball. We call that an all-time ball.
In the kiss.
The Lynx win 83-72. Looks like Maya Moore only with 8 points, 2 for 13 from the field. So that streak of 7 straight games scoring over 20 points comes to an end. But when you win, it all feels good.
That's all that matters. And she's from UConn. Bleed blue. Next game, watch out.
So there was also some Summer League action Lottery pick watch. Oh, Grayson Allen and Trae Young going after it.
Did he triple?
Didn't trip. He's not tripping tonight. Friday at 1 a.m. Now that's a good picture. I see the guys do. Whoa, shirts on, fellas.
All right, come on.
I don't know if that's PG and good enough for this show. Might not be what we're looking for here. So let's go to Atlanta, Utah. Grayson Allen, hey.
Oh.
Between the legs. You ain't know he could do that, though. Huh, Caron?
Got bunnies.
Donovan Mitchell, I'm kind of impressed. I can do a little bit better.
He's a true hoop head, too. He's at every game.
Grayson Allen in the game with Trae Young, knocking knees, getting into it a little bit. Trae Young comes out of the game, has to get that rub, so no love lost between those two. Apparently love lost between them getting buckets because Trae Young, 3 for 16 from the field. It's really struggled in summer league.
Yeah, you got to stay aggressive, though. Take advantage of the opportunities that you're given.
Grayson Allen also shooting bricks, just 2 for 13 from the field. 8 assists for him, though. Caron, you liked the way he looked despite the poor shooting.
Yeah, look, he was staying aggressive and, finding his spots and his moments. And you learn quick. Oh my God.
Maybe some
Full
frustration.
Nelson.
Whoa, that's next level. WWE.
Looked like Trey was about to pull some hands out, and Grayson was just trying to put him in the full Nelson. That's all he was looking for.
Fellas, the 3 letters you represent now, NBA, not WWE.
This was crazy.
I mean, there's a lot going on there.
At least he used his upper body and not his legs this time.
Okay. Some action towards the end. Good thing that no one was tripping. Tony Bradley finishing this highlight with something positive. And that is a dunk. Grayson Allen, 6 turnovers, 7. Trae Young, 6 turnovers, 7 assists. Here's Grayson Allen with Kristen Kinney after the game.
2 Jazz games under your belt. What are your impressions?
It's a lot of fun. We run some great stuff. The coaches run some great stuff for us, and it's a lot of fun. We have a good team spirit over here for a bunch of guys that just got together a week ago. So I'm excited. I'm glad we got 2 wins, too.
Yeah, you were going up against the 5th pick tonight and playing the point. What do you feel that you showed?
Well, just a little bit of all-around game. When my scoring's not going, I can still dish the ball. Play a little bit of defense there and there, and get rebounds for a guard too. So just try to contribute in a bunch of different ways, even when my strength as a scorer isn't working out.
Well, Rudy Gobert told us that he loves your toughness. You said that you're a competitor. What do you say about those physical moments tonight with you and Trae Young?
I mean, it's competing. If you see after the game, we high-five, hug each other, say good game and good luck. I mean, it's nothing I take off the court. He's a competitor, I'm a competitor. We go after it. And sometimes moments like that happen when you're playing with high emotion.
All right, before the game, we got to ask you, too, because you're putting on a dunk fest in your warm-ups in front of Donovan Mitchell, who won the slam dunk contest. How was that? It
was fun. He was hyping me up a little bit before and during to go do some stuff. So, and it's fun too. I put one down and the fans started cheering. I didn't realize they were all watching, so I had to put on a little bit of a show.
Well, lastly, that was just what I was going to ask you about, playing Summer League in front of a sold-out crowd.
It's incredible. The fan support since I've been here has been amazing. I mean, all over the city, I see Jazz fans. To be pretty much a sold-out lower bowl and you see people in the upper deck for a Summer League game is incredible, the support they have. I can't wait for a regular season game to really hear this place rocking.
Well, welcome to the NBA, Grayson. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
So Grayson Allen, Trae Young, 2 lottery picks, struggling from the field. Number 2 overall pick, Marvin Bagley, stepping on the court for the Sacramento Kings, also struggling. Caron, just 2 shots in 29 minutes, did not make a bucket.
I think guys are jumping on his tendencies, a little bit, specifically the Miami Heat. That's what they're known for, defense. And, he just got to find a way to gather his legs and get to his strong spots and finish them easy buckets, specifically in the paint.
One thing we do see in Summer League is those second-year players showing up and showing out.
Ooh.
Justin Jackson, the guy doing it for the Kings, 26 points, 3 rebounds, 9 for 17 from the field. Growth.
Yeah, a lot of growth, and I love the pace that they're playing with. And that's going to enable Bagley to do what he needs to do from an isolation standpoint in the post.
Another guy that was cooking, Derek Jones Jr., still 21 years young, drafted in 2016.
Oh, watch your head.
Elevation, levitation, playing above the rim. That is what he does, Caron. Don't have a heart attack, my friend.
Don't replay it again.
Say it with your chest.
Gas prices went down or up.
That's not the last one. We got another one for you, Caron.
You know how you got to jump to spike the ball where it hits your feet?
They let him go, the Phoenix Suns. He's now a member of the Miami Heat, and you see him paying dividends. He get the win, 86-76. Memphis, San Antonio. That's Jaren Jackson, number 4 pick in the draft, working out inside, but the touch, a little bit off tonight.
Yeah, touch a little bit off, but I love to see different dimensions of his game. You know, you saw the first couple games where he was knocking down shots on the perimeter, now getting to the post and just working on his versatility.
On the other end, Lonnie Walker, first-round pick for the Spurs, showing off the outside touch and puts San Antonio ahead by 3. Javon Carter, second-round pick. Oh, skate, skirt.
Got the breaks.
Hey, he's a guy that might be a steal in the second round. Could have been a late first-round talent. Looking good. That's Derek White going up and putting it down. 2
hands for safety.
A lot of talent in the Summer League. Wayne Selden, one of those guys pulling up from the U in Utah.
Jeez.
Should be the 3 from Utah, the 4-point play. Give him something. Memphis down by a whole bunch. Lonnie Walker, the give, the go, the flush. Spurs get the W, 94-87.
Up.
And away. Lakers, Golden State Warriors. Mo Wagner out of Michigan, 25th overall pick in the draft. Wagner gets the steal. Then Zvi Mahalik from outside. Then he gets open on the break. Is Mo Wagner.
Ooh.
Hey, Wagner doing a lot of different things, showing a versatility for the Lakers. Can he be someone that they can count on with LeBron on the roster? Maybe come his rookie year.
Catching and shooting like that, you're definitely going to have the opportunities, I'll tell you that.
13 points, 13 rebounds for Wagner. Warriors on the break. Brian Brown throws it up to J.P. Cotto. And Jeffrey Carroll getting to the paint. Oh, no, he had the jumper, decided, I like high percentage.
Lane open up like that, you got to take it.
Here's a pop quiz. Marcus Derrickson, know he is. Undrafted guy out of Georgetown. 24 points. Put me on the roster. I need a spot. Hey now. And that's Wagner playing some defense, 4 blocks. And the Warriors come out with the win, but the Lakers looking good in the loss.
Yeah.
24 points, 11 rebounds for Marcus Derrickson. Paul George, he's staying in OKC. So what does that mean for Caron's power polls? We check in next.
In the NBA, one of the best two-way players in the league.
Paul George is an unrestricted free agent at the end of this season.
Oh, Paul George making a statement early. Oh, the sleight of hand, masterfully done by George.
George measuring. George scores.
The three makes it all the way downtown and says, good night.
You told me all I want to do at the end of the day is win, and win at a high level.
George. O'Neal goes down. George.
Oh, he's not human.
That's what it's called, being physical with the basketball, folks.
Oklahoma City makes a large statement.
If y'all didn't quite get it, let me say it again, I'm here to stay.
This is why you have to try. You have to try because you don't get a chance to get a player this good that often.
This is the team, if they could get it together and add another piece and get things going, they could be the 3rd best team in the Western Conference.
Okay, fine, make it. George, don't step back three. He got it.
A year ago, nobody gave Oklahoma City any chance of keeping Paul George. None, 0. And he is now committing to stay there because they did all the right things to try and keep him there.
All right, it's time now for Caron's Power Poll. Looking out west, no surprise who the first two teams on this list are. So who's your top two teams in the West? That seems like an easy one.
So my top two teams in the Western Conference, I would have to say the Golden State Warriors, and then the second team would still be the Houston Rockets.
Okay. No explanation needed. I think if you watched the NBA last season, if you watched the Western Conference Finals, Chris Paul doesn't get hurt, maybe the Rockets win that series. So go from there. Who's the third best team in the West? Seems wide open.
So the third best team in the Western Conference, I say this season, if healthy, Jimmy Butler and those guys find a way to keep it together, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves in 3.
Ahead of the Portland Trail Blazers?
That's pretty much everybody else. I have the Minnesota Timberwolves in the 3rd spot. They was in the 4th spot when Jimmy Butler went down. Tibbs said it. Look, it was a devastating loss to have him missing. They lost a lot of momentum in the course of the season. So with him being healthy coming into the season, I got them in the 3rd spot.
Who you got 4th?
4th spot, I have OKC. I really do feel like those guys are going to mesh well together. I think Russell is going to play even harder and more efficient and better. Paul George is going to be better because, you know, look, he found the situation that he fits and he's playing extremely well. I think he's going to excel in that position.
So that leads us to number 5.
The 5
It seems
spot.
hard for you, the 5th spot.
Yeah, it does. But look, I think the Lakers are going to be really good. I got the Lakers at the 5 spot. I think LeBron James is going to, you know, really excel in that space. I think they're going to be a plus 13 to 15 team, just so much better this season. And I think he's going to get the MVP just because they're going to make the playoffs.
So your last 3 playoff teams, put them in order for me.
They can go anywhere. You know, I think Utah is going to be really good. I think they're going to piggyback off the season that they just had. Not as good as before because, you know, a lot of expectations, but I think guys are going to defend Donovan a little different. In the pick and roll situation, you're going to see a different coverages and things like that. But the system is really good. So they're still going to be a playoff team. They're going to be right there at the 5th or the 6th.
No New Orleans Pelicans?
I do not have that. I think Rondo, people don't underestimate how good Rajon Rondo was for that team. In the locker room, on the court, just being a guy that put guys in their positions. Lose DeMarcus Cousins to the injury, never missed a beat. Put Holiday at the 2-guard position. Look, you're a scorer. You don't have to worry about distributing the ball as much no more. I got this. Anthony Davis, go to the basket. You're open. I'll find you.
Excellent point. Let's head to the East now where the King, he's gone. So certainly this is a wide open conference. This is not necessarily the order, so you put it in order. I got to ask you there, who's first?
Boston Celtics.
Okay.
Hands down, Boston Celtics. I think Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, those guys being back healthy, the Celtics is number 1 in the Eastern Conference this upcoming season.
We're going to leave whatever offseason issues they might be having right now alone because of speculation. Who's second?
It varies. Like, it can go either the Philadelphia 76ers or the Toronto Raptors, but I'm going to say, you know, they're familiar with one another. I think they're going to be great. So I'm going to stick with the Toronto Raptors at the number 2 spot.
Losing Dwayne Casey,
that was
Coach
tough.
of the Year.
Coach of the Year.
Is that too big of a loss?
That was a huge loss. But, you know, sometimes what happens when, you know, a fresh, different change, a new voice in the locker room, whatever the case it may be, I did not like that coaching change. I did not think that was his fault, but look, they move forward, and it is what it is.
What about the team that got Dwayne Casey?
I think they're going to definitely be in the playoffs, and you see me having them at the bottom end, the lower end, somewhere 6 through 8.
But they're on this board.
But they're definitely in it. The scary team to watch out for is the Milwaukee Bucks. I think they're going to be extremely good. I think Giannis, you know, he's speaking out, saying that, look, I want to be a champion in Milwaukee. I want to do all these things. I think he's going to, you know, open some eyes.
Not going to get an argument from the president of the Giannis fan club and one of his former teammates in Caron Butler. So it's interesting to see your breakdown. Caron's Power Poll looking great for the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. The W in our show does not stand for Wu-Tang. Highlights from the WNBA coming up next.
Wu-Tang forever!
In the Western Conference to you? Playoff team with LeBron?
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's LeBron.
Top 4, though?
I mean, they'd be banking on that. They'd be knocking on that.
Wow.
I think they're
Really?
sort of an
That's
OKC of
impressive.
last year, to me. They're sort of like,
Okay.
you know, they could be a 3, 4, 5, 6 seed. They could drop. Like, they could drop out of the playoffs if LeBron's not healthy for a month. You know, it's one of those to me.
I would have them third, no lower than third.
Wow.
Right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those young players are really good. Obviously, it depends a little bit on Capella.
They have no shooting, though.
Yeah,
but that is an issue, right?
It's an issue. It's an issue. But LeBron just automatically improves that team. Like, who are they? I don't think the Thunder are better than the Lakers right now. I don't think so. I think it's only the Rockets, and that's, again, hedging a little bit on.
That one's interesting because the Thunder play defense. Yeah. We're great defensively when especially Robertson is out there.
I don't think they're better. I think that's about where they are. And then, like I say, it's only Houston, and they lose Ariza. That's a loss for them.
Right.
For sure.
So you basically are Warriors, Rockets.
Yeah.
You got Warriors, Rockets, and then you've got the Lakers.
I've got the Lakers as good as anyone else after that.
Wow.
I mean, the Blazers, I think they're better than the Blazers already.
Yeah. No.
And then who? And then who you got after that?
Well, the Jazz, could get better.
Yeah. Jazz are in the mix, but I honestly think the Lakers are...
Nuggets, yeah.
I mean, if you were to take them right now, I would take the Lakers in a playoff series.
Taking the Lakers in the playoff series. Okay, the Drop podcast from the starters. They react to King James at the Lakers. Former WNBA MVPs Maya Moore of the Minnesota Lynx and Elena Delle Donne of the Washington Mystics, your leading vote getters after the first fan return to the WNBA All-Star voting presented by Verizon. Look at Rookie of the Month, Asia Wilson, coming into the league and sitting 7th in voting already. Got to get those votes up for Candace Parker, though, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm voting for Cam tonight.
She spends time here with us on air. So that's who you got to vote for.
That's little sis right there.
All right, to the actual action. New York Liberty and the Washington Mystics. That former MVP, Elena Delle Donne, looking like she wants another one of those trophies.
Skills.
Player of the Month for June, looking good in July already. Then on the other end, Tina Charles, 26 points, keeping the Mystics within 4 of the Liberty.
Nice Euro stuff.
Then Delle Donne from outside nails the triple. When she's on, there's no stopping her, Caron.
Look at this play. Not a shot taker, a shot maker. Very efficient player. Cannot give her that much airspace.
Well, she finished with 21. Mystics win 86-67. Indiana, Dallas. Liz Koenig makes the quick pass. Then she gets busy off the pick, hitting the jumper. When she sets her feet, looks like that's just good. 17 points, 9 rebounds for her. Big night for Azura Stevens. Open from outside. That's not a good idea on defense to leave someone that wide open. And then off the screen, the fake, keeping the rock, and getting sick with it. 90-63, the victory. Career high, 26 points for Azura Stevens. LeBron James, one of the best dunks in Summer League history. We'll show you more next. NBA.com/Summer League is your home for highlights, scores, schedules, and more. It's a one-stop shop for everything you need to know until July 17th. Now let's check out the best dunks in Summer League history.
I think he can make the biggest difference on the floor is his ability defensively.
Oh, look at that! Brent Robinson to third with the crossover.
As they almost take it away from Morrow. All the way down and thrown down by Anthony Randolph. With 4/10 of a second to go.
He's got some length, doesn't he?
As he needs to be, but he's 19, and that's going to come. But he has a great sense for the game. He has a great sense for the game. He can pass, he can shoot, he runs the floor, he's athletic, he contests every shot.
Smart man, get that relationship with the hit.
Look out below.
Get the hand on that one. See if Chris challenges. Jake Lehman. Oh, hard landing. Wanted the foul. What a throwdown by Jake Lehman.
Proving yourselves, Clyde. These D-League select players are rolling right now. They've got something to prove.
And obviously, Gasol has tweeted out that he's going there.
Shannon Brown. Yes! Wow. Shannon Brown.
And another guy that got some quality minutes this year for Cleveland. And when guys get those opportunities, they get great confidence.
It's all even after the Jones free throws at 30. And it's going to be Daniels throwing it down. And hopefully Darius Miller's okay the way he went down. So the first poster of this game.
Chris Singleton climbs.
Trying to get the head one right. And on the break, Iyenga again. And over Hilton Armstrong. Guy can get up there. Good call. Overall chemistry because Derek Fisher's no longer there. He was there at the start of last season. Good pass. Reeves Nelson and throw it down Iyenga. Summer League, forget it. Mid-season, Iyenga. That was serious.
Welcome. Matthews on another wing, and then you have LaMarcus put down the middle.
Oh my goodness.
No, he didn't.
Usually Chauncey Billups.
His first professional experience. Eric Griffin out of Campbell University, a rookie.
He needs to get out here and get something special to get, to get.
Mike
Taylor to Blake Griffin. Good decision by Mike there, figuring out the #1 pick in the draft was running the left wing, and he might want to give the ball up.
In an environment like this, not too many people know who Greg Steenstra is.
Griffin right there. Hey, watch your head. Watch your head. But see, listen, and we got to cut you off on that, right? Because basically you were talking this guy up.
Like good defense. Cartier Martin with a good play. And the finish by JaVale McGee. So Martin does the dirty work, gets down Brown.
All the way. Reggie Jackson. And a foul. Oh my goodness, this place is erupted.
Cook, not shot. Mid-range jumper. Nope.
There's McGarry. Put up over everybody.
Looking up. Jackson.
Yes.
For Dakota.
Yes. That's an easy assist.
Here Jackson knows she's got a guy on a trampoline, and he set him up beautifully.
Nick Johnson.
He and all the Lakers, they missed 17. Jeremy Grant caught a body under the rim and put Zubac right through it.
McLemore lights up the day in Vegas.
Long lead pass, a beauty up top. Two-hand reverse slam dunk.
Oh, tell me the Spurs. With 6 minutes to go in this game. And Simmons. High and mighty. Jonathan Simmons. Who's had a couple of exclamation points in his run here in Vegas.
Flight School 101.
To play in the NBA. Third all-time in assists. Fifth all-time in steals. He could stop playing today and he's in the Hall of Fame.
Here's a reported trade that's going to have Chris Paul on his way to Houston.
Well, they went and got Chris Paul for a reason, and he has not disappointed.
He just fits in beautifully with what they do.
Shot clock running down. Chris Paul puts it up there. It goes up there. Chris Paul at the basket. Chris Paul with a jumper. Cold block basket by Chris Paul.
Chris Paul is a magician. The things he can do with the basketball, it's just fun to watch.
Look at the ball handling of Chris Paul. He's got it on a string.
Chris Paul is a ball handling master.
I love this game.
Oh my goodness. Finds a little space and puts it in. Wizardry from Chris Paul.
Oh, no, he didn't. Chris Paul, that is not right. CP3, stop it.
Chris Paul's court vision is unlike anybody else I've ever seen. What did you see the English of Chris Paul playing that basketball? What a pass.
Chris Paul now putting on a show. The great ones have that ability to take it up another notch.
He could be the best pure point for the last 10, 12 years in the league.
This is one tough cookie, but he's physically tough and he's a bulldog.
There's a pickpocket for you. Chris Paul doing what he does best.
His value on the court really has never changed throughout his NBA career, but he will be an unrestricted free agent this upcoming summer. Obviously, the Houston Rockets are the #1 team.
Chris Paul seems like he's certainly interested and committed to coming back.
CP is spending his time lobbying LeBron James more so than worrying about his own free agency this summer.
I truly believe that he will go back to the Houston Rockets this offseason.
He is enjoying his life as a Rocket. Well, of all the things we talked about earlier, the assists and the steals, it might be the competitive fire that stands out the most about him. This late in his career, still making sure he's ready when the lights are on.
Now, during the regular season, Chris Paul told us that Clint Capella is part of their big three down there in Houston. Well, Clint Capella is still a restricted free agent, has not received that long-term offer from the Rockets or anyone else. How important is it for them to lock him up?
It is extremely important. And, you know, you want to treat him as good as possible under these conditions. And, you know, from the emojis that I see coming from his Twitter account, he's not being treated or feeling the welcome or the warm reception. But they'll sort it out because he's a big part of what they have going on in Houston.
Yeah, and if he doesn't sign this year, then, of course, he'll become an unrestricted free agent next year. That's not what Houston wants. Another guy on that list, Isaiah Thomas. Very bad situation for him.
Yeah, you know, I want to see him get rewarded somehow, some way, even if it's a one-in, one-off, where he has the luxury of showing that he's healthy and then testing the free agent market next summer where he can get, you know, some type of money.
You're familiar with our friend Clipper Darrell, right?
Laker Darrell?
Yeah, we'll figure that out next. And how LeBron James is influencing that situation. Some more WNBA action. Connecticut, Phoenix, WNBA all-time leading scorer Diana Taurasi making some more history. UConn in the house.
Bleed blue, UConn.
All-time leader in field goals made in WNBA history is Taurasi now as well. Brittany Griner finishes with the layup. Whenever we see a layup from her, we just want her to dunk. Right?
She just hit her with the Statue of Liberty, though. Just stuck her arm up and just floated.
And Brianna Jones working out. So is Tawana Bonner. Phoenix gets the win 84-77. Time to go at the buzzer. So when you have your team's name in your own name, like Clipper Darrell, you can't jump ship, can you? Clipper Darrell? What's happening here? Wearing Lakers colors.
Can't change your name.
What kind of game is that, Caron?
Clipper Darrell, like, bro, holla at me, man. What are you doing?
Season ticket holder, that's your man.
No, you don't put him on me, huh? You don't just throw him on me like that.
Hey, you and I did the Instagram thing, and Clipper Darrell was like, hey, what's up, friend? That is your friend jumping ship.
Yeah, I'm going to have to handle him, Nick. Hey, Clipper Darrell. Stay Clipper Darrell. You cannot be Laker Darrell. Like, that
his name is still
right.
Clipper
See
Darrell.
how I stuttered when I said it? That ain't sound right. Laker Darrell.
Yeah, that's like being, you know, LeBron James and then wearing wine and gold and then... Oh, wait. Purple and gold. You see?
You see how you put that together?
Clipper Darrell, LeBron.
You cold-blooded, bro.
Oh, man. LeBron, don't come after me, though. Yeah, I need
he
a
coming.
job.
I might come at you. I might hit you from the burner account.
Uh-oh. Be like, look at this guy coming after LeBron on NBA TV.
Yeah, Clipper Darrell cannot do that, though. Seriously.
No, Clipper Darrell, you need to rock the red and the white. From now on, no more purple and gold. We got it? I think we're straight. Hey, noon tomorrow, Eastern, we're starting to figure out who's actually going to sign that paper and be with their new team.
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to
Caron Butler, Chris Miles here. It's been a real tough juice show tonight.
We out.